Good morning, everyone. So the question I get asked the most often as a communication skills expert is, how do I communicate with stronger impact? So I know some of you here are probably thinking the same thing, right? Because regardless of what career or what you do professionally, personally, how you show up and communicate is going to impact your success. So here's the answer, hands down, that I would give anyone. They said, how can I communicate with stronger impact? I would say, stop putting people on call waiting in your life. So what does that really mean, right? What does it mean to put people on call waiting? So that means when we're in conversations, whether it's as leaders in organizations, whether it's in our own personal relationships, or whether it's talking to our kids, or as a salesperson talking to a client, how many times when something happens during the conversation do we divert our eye contact and look somewhere else or look over? Or how many times are our feet not facing the person, right? We're just maybe our body's this way, but our head's this way and we might be nodding, right? Or we're doing something else. We're typing on our computer, but we say, yeah. Or you're at home with your partner, flipping through the channels and the remote, and you're like, yep, right? We all know, we've all been there, right? I've been there, I get it, right? We've all done things, but every time we do those actions, we're subconsciously telling that person that this is more important, right? And I always say, whether it's body language or communication, it's not about what you want it to mean, it's about perception and how other people are perceiving your actions. And you got to get clear about it. And so I want to give you some things to think about today around how can you stop putting the people in your life on call waiting. So one thing I would tell you is start today. I want you to get really clear. I want you to watch how you conduct your conversations today. And I want you to find out where in the conversation do you notice yourself starting to put people on call waiting. If you can only recognize the behavior of when you're doing it, you can start to change it. But if you can't acknowledge it, you can't change it. So today, can you just get clear about when you do it? Does your cell phone ring when a speaker's talking and you pick it up and you do that? I can't tell you how many times in organizations I go into team meetings and I'm working and coaching leaders, and so many people are multitasking, looking on their cell phones, working on their computer, typing a message, and not even giving the people the respect and the attention that they deserve. That's a habit that they've created for themselves. And if they want to be a better communicator, stop putting the people in front of you on call waiting. So get awareness is number one thing. Number two is, so my whole background is in nonverbal communication skills, body language, how to read body language. And body language is such a huge part of how we actually communicate. So when I start any workshop, I ask the same question. I said, what do you think is the most honest part of the body? So I want you to think about that. What would you tell me is the most honest part of the body? Now, you know I'm setting you up, all right? So get ready. So 90 to 95% of everyone in the workshop raises their hand. They are super confident, like Donald Trump confident, like they got it together. And they're like, oh, it's your face or your eyes. You're wrong. And so it's not your face or your eyes, but that's what we think because we've been told, right? Give people eye contact. Make sure you look them in the eye. So it's obviously the eyes are the window to the soul. So it's the most honest part. The most honest part of your body is your feet. Because the further you get away from your brain, the less conscious we typically are of it. And so your feet will generally always face the direction you are most interested in. And so here's an example. So your boss comes into your office, boss comes in from that side, and what you're going to do, one of two things. You'll either say, hey, how's it going? Good seeing you. But your feet stay at your computer. I know that whatever you're working on typically is probably is more of what you're interested in working on at that moment. I don't take it personal. Don't do anything. It doesn't mean anything other than that. But I know that if you were really trying to communicate with stronger impact and you wanted to make that person feel valued and you really wanted to connect, then you would turn to that person and you say, hey, it's so good seeing you. Come on in. Let's have a conversation, right? Our feet are going to always point where we're interested. And I'll tell you a great story that really happened to me that gave me some perspective. I had a mom come up to me after our workshop one time and she said, I have to thank you. And I could tell she was a little upset. And I said, well, what's going on? And she said to me, I get so busy with life, right? So many of us do. We get so busy being busy. And she goes, I go to work all day, I work really hard, I go home, I pick up my kids, I'm making dinner, I'm doing all this stuff, and I don't even stop to look at my own child and face them directly and say, how was your day, right? Or to say, what's going on? She goes, I'm on the stove cooking dinner, right? And I'm looking over and I'm saying yes, and I'm doing all these things, but I'm missing these beautiful opportunities to connect. And the beautiful part about where she is, right? So now she has the awareness so she can change it. But it takes daily commitment to do that. So I want you to start small. Because if it's something big, you're not going to change it. So today in your conversations, I just want you to ask yourself, how am I showing up? And I want you to start noticing where maybe you start checking out. Where are you putting those people on call waiting in the middle of the conversation? And then if you notice yourself doing it, can you bring yourself back? And more importantly, I want you to make sure your feet are at least facing in alignment, either at an angle or directly towards that person. Give people the attention that they deserve. When you're in the conversation, the one thing I always say to myself is, there is nothing more important than what's happening right in front of me. Nothing. I don't care if a good old, Kim Kardashian walked in the door. Now I know I'm a fan, right? But if Kim Kardashian walked in, she walked in. This is where my attention is, because nothing else is more important to me than you. You got it. So maybe Kim Kardashian wasn't the best example, but whether it's Kim Kardashian for you, whether it's whoever, pick your person and say, no matter what happens, this right now in this very moment is what matters to me. And I want to make sure that I'm connecting. So whether you're a leader, whether you're a salesperson, whether you're a parent, whether you're a lover, a partner, a friend, make sure you give people the attention that they deserve. That's how you become a better communicator. So if it gives you something to think about. If no one tells you that they believe in you, please know that I believe in you. You're capable of great things, and as we work together and give each other insight and we share our stories, we raise each other up to a new level of consciousness and a new level of ability. So I believe in you. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.